Hello everyone, welcome to class today. My name is Ellen McKay and I'm here with Yoga for Caregivers. So we are going to do some work today on our low back. That can definitely be a place where we feel tension or discomfort, especially as caregivers. There can be a lot of carrying, bending over, picking up, those kinds of things. So we'll do some low back health work today. You are more than welcome to join us in a chair. I'm going to use my mat, but I will always give you options to do from a chair instead of the floor. So come into a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you, whether that's down onto your mat or onto a chair. And you don't have to sit like me. You can sit on your bottom. You can sit with one leg out to the side. I do have a couple props with me today. So I have some yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks at home, maybe grab a small pillow. We're just going to use it a little bit to add support as well as to help add strength in those kind of supporting muscles that we use to support our back. So let's go ahead and get started. Comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you. And for some of us, especially sitting in this position right here can be uncomfortable for the low back. If hips and legs are a little more tight, we tend to maybe experience some roundedness here or just not, it's just not comfortable sitting in this way. So this is a great way to use these blocks or to use those pillows or whatever it is that you're using. You just take one and have a seat on it, or take two and have a seat on it. And just by lifting yourself up a little bit, elevating those hips, it can help to relieve some of that pull or strain on the low back. And again, crossing the legs like this, definitely not necessary. If it feels better to have a leg out to the side or both legs out in front, you just choose the option that is best for you today. So we'll start with a little bit of breathing, some kind of relaxation, a little bit of movement, and then we'll get into those bigger shapes. Okay, so comfortable seated position, whatever that means for you, give it a little shake. So shake those hands out, shake the shoulders out, maybe close the eyes, exhale through the mouth, just kind of soften things up. Let's take the palms of the hands together, give them a little rub, create some energy here. And then take those nice warm hands and rub them on the legs. You can even take them down to the shins. If you can reach your feet, you can grab your feet and just kind of rub, rub, rub. Yeah, good. Let's take those hands again together, give them a rub. Once they get nice and warm, we'll do the same with the arms. So just rub the arms, hands, other side. Yeah, good. Let's do it again. Hands rubbed together. This time we're going to do chest and belly if you want. So you can take hands on the chest, maybe rub the belly a little bit. You can even rub the low back. That can feel nice. Let's do one more time. Hands rubbed together. And this time we're going to do neck, face, and head. So take the hands to the neck. Little gentle rubs there along the back of the neck. Maybe you take those fingertips and kind of scratch the head. Oh, that can feel really good. Helps to release tension in those muscles around the eyes and the jaw. And then take the hands and just pull on those earlobes if you want. That should feel pretty good. Give the earlobes a little rub. And let those hands rest down. Great. Take the shoulders up and back a few times. Good. Hands can rest comfortably on the legs, or maybe they just rest by the sides. You can choose to turn the palms up or down, and we'll close the eyes if you choose. If you don't feel like closing the eyes today, just find a place to gently rest the gaze and begin to find your breath. These first few breaths are all about transition, so just kind of moving from wherever you were before you came into this practice. It's almost like you're kind of stepping again onto your mat or coming again into your chair as you take these breaths to move out of whatever task you were doing before, or maybe you have something coming up after this practice, and just knowing that you're carving out the next 20 minutes or so just for yourself, just for your body, just taking these few minutes to reset and renew. Maybe the breath begins to slow some more. Maybe it feels nice to deepen the breath slightly. Because as a caregiver, we spend a lot of time pouring out. This is the time to pour in, to receive. It's the time to check in with your body, to slow your breath. And your breath doesn't have to be as deep as mine. Just as we slow and deepen the breath, it kind of just tells the body that we can relax, that the muscles can relieve tension, that digestion can improve. This also helps to improve sleep, just that deeper, calmer breath. And let's take about 10 more rounds. Gentle flowing breath, as deep as you choose. Good. Maybe about halfway there. Couple more breaths to go. Good. From here, begin to bring the chin to the chest. And just slowly take the head side to side. Sometimes tension in the neck and upper body can lead to tension in the low back. So we'll just kind of slowly work our way down and then focus a little bit more on that low back space. Good. Bring the head back to center all the way up. Let the hands rest on the thighs, and we'll do a little rocking front to back. So movement starts in the pelvis, especially if you're sitting on something. Make sure that you can gently and easily rock front to back. And then as that pelvis tilts forward, lift the chest up. Maybe take a little look if the neck allows. And then exhale, round it back. Pull that belly button back. Open up through that mid-back space. And let's do it again. Tilt the pelvis forward. Lift up through the chest. Take a little look up. Exhale, round. Good. One more time. Tilt the pelvis forward. Lift up through that chest. Exhale, round it. And come back to center. We'll work a little bit into that side of the waist, so stretching through the sides of the back. Take the right hand down to either a block or the side of the chair, to the floor. Take that left hand and lift it up and over if you choose. As you reach the left fingertips away, feel that left sits bone press down to the chair or the mat. And then bring the hands up. And let's twist to the left. So left hand comes to the mat or to the side of the chair. Right hand can cross over if you choose. Lift up tall, tall, tall. Breathe. Good. Unwind. Let's twist to the other side. So to the right. And if this twist doesn't feel quite right, you can always keep that left hand on the left thigh. That definitely eases into your twist a little bit more here. And then unwind. Good. Roll the shoulders up and back. Great. Take the left hand down to a block or the floor or the side of the chair. Lift that right arm up and over. Again, as you reach the right hand away, press that right hip down towards the seat. Breathe. 2 more breaths. Good. Then inhale, both hands rise. And let's twist to the right. Maybe you choose to keep that left hand on the thigh. Maybe you cross it over. Good. Inhale, hands rise. Let's go to the other side, to the left. Same thing here. Find your twist. 3 breaths to go. And unwind. Bring it back to center. Okay, let's get some movement here for the lower body. So if you're on a block, go ahead and move it to the side. And we're actually going to use either be in the chair, and I'll give you options for that. Or if you're on your mat, you're gonna come and lay down onto the back. So if laying down on the back or getting all the way down to the floor doesn't work for you, grab a chair and I'll give you some different directions. And have one block or that small pillow, like maybe a sofa, like a couch pillow, something like that, nearby. You can even take a towel and kind of roll it up a little bit so it's about this shape, really just about this thickness. Okay, so you're finding your way either into your chair or down onto your mat. So if you're in your chair, bring the soles of the feet to the floor and kind of scoot yourself a little bit forward so you're not right up against the back of the chair. I want you to try to find a nice long spine. So being on the floor kind of helps with that long spine. It helps to support the low back. So if you can, being on the floor can kind of give that low back a little bit more of a release. Just finding your posture here, connecting those feet to the floor wherever you are. If you're laying on the mat, keep the knees bent. That will make the back a little bit happier. And breathe. Always remember to breathe. Big breaths in and big breaths out. 2 more to go. Good. So if you're in your chair, you're going to bring your palms or your forearms down to your thighs, kind of bending forward, bringing the belly closer to the thighs. You might even slide the hands down towards the shins, kind of folding all the way onto those thighs, with that belly meeting the thighs. You choose. We're just going to start to gently feel that stretch in the low back. So again, if you're in a chair, slowly start to slide those hands or forearms down to the thighs. Or maybe those hands move down to the shins. If you're on your back, let's take the knees in towards the chest. Hands can come either behind the thighs or to the shins, whatever works. And just start a little bit of a rock. Just rocking those legs side to side. If you're seated in your chair and folding forward, maybe really release the muscles in the face. So see if you can relax the jaw. And you might even feel the breath move into that back space. Maybe you can really focus your awareness into that low back. Let's take 2 more breaths. Good. If you're in your chair, bring your hands to your thighs and use those arms to press yourself back up to an upright position. If you're on the mat, take the feet down to the floor, keep the knees bent. So go ahead and grab your block, your yoga block or your towel or whatever you have, and you're going to bring it in between the thighs. So you can choose, especially if you've got a block, you can kind of choose which width feels best for you, but it doesn't really matter as long as it's comfortable for you. We're just going to use that block to squeeze. So with our low back muscles, Sometimes they overwork when our core isn't quite strong enough. And a great way to turn on our core muscles or really start to use those deep core muscles is squeezing and strengthening the inner thighs, because the inner thighs move directly up to those deep core muscles that directly support our back. So we're just going to do a little bit of inner thigh strengthening with that block or towel or whatever it is you're using. So bring that in between the thighs, not super low, not at the knees, just a little bit below the knees. Hands can rest wherever you are. So whether you're seated or on the mat, take that block or towel and bring it in between the thighs. Again, feet press firmly down to the floor, and we're just going to squeeze. So squeeze into that block. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. You can always shake those legs a little side to side if you want. And then again, we're going to squeeze, 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 squeeze. Keep squeezing. 3, 2, 1, and soften. Again, maybe a little bit of a rock. Let's do it again. Squeeze those legs together. Squeeze into that block or blanket, whatever you got. And relax. Good. Last time, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, release that block. If you, well, either way, actually, you're going to take your feet a little bit wider than the hips and just gently sway your knees side to side. So maybe you're doing that from your chair, maybe you're doing it on the back, and you can let that movement be as big as small or as small as you choose. We'll take a few more breaths here. Good. Okay, bring the knees back to center. Good, let's get another little stretch. So if you're seated, take the hands or the forearms to the thighs, and then if you want, you can slide those hands down towards the shins, so you're coming into that fold. If you're on your back, you're gonna bring your knees towards your belly. We're pretty much making the same exact shape, whether you're in the chair or on the floor. It's just up to you, whatever feels better. You can add some movement, maybe a little rocking feels nice. Maybe you think about that breath, breathing into your low back space, really feeling some expansion on the inhale and some relaxation on the exhale. Good, one more breath. Yeah, awesome. Okay, slowly bring those feet back to connect to the mat. If you're seated, bring the hands to the thighs. Press yourself upright again. Take the hands by the side. So if you're sitting on your chair, you can hold on to the side of the chair here. We're going to do a little bit of marching. And again, this is to strengthen those core muscles. Again, moving's going to be very similar whether you're in a chair or on the mat. All you're going to do is take one knee, lift it up. So you're just gently lifting that foot off the mat. And then we're going to slowly bring it back down, and we'll do the other side. So we're just going nice and slow, gentle lifting and lowering. Lifting and lowering. So see if you can make as little noise as possible and just gently bring that foot back down. So it really kind of requires some control there of those core muscles around the legs. And it gives the low back an opportunity to soften. If you're in your chair and you feel some tension in the low back, you don't have to lift the feet as high. Maybe you just take smaller taps. Let's try it 2 more times each side. Breathe. Good. Last time here. Wonderful. Take the knees into the chest. If you're on the mat, if you're in the chair, slide those hands to the thighs or maybe down to the shins, finding that stretch in the back. Let's add a little twist here. So if you're seated in your chair, take your forearms to your thighs. Take your right hand to your right hip, and you're going to twist that torso towards the right side. If you are on the mat, you're going to take your knees and just drop them over to the left. So we're all essentially twisting to the right. 3 breaths here. Full breaths. Feel that nice stretch along the right side of the low back. Good. 2 more breaths. Slowly bring everything back to center. So if you're in your chair, bring both forearms back to the thighs, or if you're on the mat, bring the knees to the chest, and then we'll go to the other side. If you're seated in your chair, take your left hand to your left hip and your right hand to your thigh and twist to the left. If you are on the back, you're going to take your knees and drop them to the right. So we're all twisting towards the left now. Getting a stretch through left side of the back, left low back, with those full breaths. Very good. Two more to go. Wonderful. Slowly bring everything back to center. So bring those feet again back to about hip distance. Feet connect down to the mat. Hands can rest on the belly or the thighs, kind of depending on which shape you're taking. If you're in your chair, you can scoot back and lean back towards the back of the chair so you have some extra support there. And we'll do a little bit of breath and meditation before we wrap up this class. So again, if you choose, you can close the eyes. The jaw can soften, shoulders, neck, hands are heavy. And we've been talking this month about tapas, or self-discipline, one of our niyamas in yoga. In the past few weeks, I've been talking about self-discipline as the opportunity for caregivers to slow down, letting that be your self-discipline, allowing to carve out some time each day just to refuel, just to reset. Feeling all the muscles in the face relax. And checking into your sense of hearing. So noticing what you hear directly around you. Maybe you can hear yourself breathing, hear yourself swallow. And then start to bring that awareness outwards. Maybe just to the sounds in this room. Maybe bring the rooms nearby. And then taking that awareness outside, seeing if you can hear anything outside of your home or your workspace, wherever you are today. staying here as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for taking time out and practicing with me today.